dirty little chat rat.
So Chat Pack, I've been the main editor of these podcasts. I gotta claim credit.
Yep.
And I want Chase to take more of a role in it because I want you to have more of a say in what gets included.
Well, that's the
right.
thing.
I want you to have more of a say.
I can't do the marketing and the editing
You don't do the marketing though.
because I do the editing.
You don't do either.
I edit it just as much as
I
you do.
do the most, bro.
And I have to do the graphic
one?
design. I do the graphic design. That takes a long time.
Bro.
I work 40 hours a week. Shit. I mean, in the fall, like, I won't be working 40 hours a week. I can commit my life to the chat. But, like, I get off work at 5. I'm like, I cannot make a graphic.
Hey, you know what the Chat Pack is saying? They're saying once we graduate, we're going to be washed up. We're going to be out of the game. We're not going to have any content to talk about.
That's a big issue, though.
You think that's an issue?
What if you move to Texas and I move to London, whatever.
We can Zoom record audio.
I feel like every successful podcast is in person.
No, there's quite a few on Zoom now, and there's like even Rogan zoomed in McConaughey and a lot of other famous people. Yeah, because of COVID. But we can record the audio just like we're doing right now, just fine. You know,
True.
I feel like we get a lot of cues from each other right here, and what I really love about the way we record is because we're sitting on an L-shaped couch, both cornered up to this phone right now. And when you want to talk, you lean into the phone. Yeah. We will lose that. It's like I showed Chase. I got something to say because I leaned up next to the
dominance
phone.
In the conversation. I step back,
and then I get a little break to drink my drink. You know,
yeah.
if you step in too, that's awesome. We'd lose that aspect, but we can grow beyond just location.
Yeah, I think it's doable. It's doable.
And I think once we graduate, we're only going to have more interesting stuff to talk about.
And we'll have more money, too.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
We'll have a lot more money.
I think the chat will survive no matter what. Unless
chat goes on.
One of us moves to Europe, which I would love to do.
Oh, I'll fly to Europe. Easy.
London. I want to move to London.
Dude.
Kind of bad.
We have to make Story out of Venice. That is the vision. I'm not dead on Story, bro. I'm going to be a TA for my storytelling class. Did I tell you that?
Storytelling.
My BME class that's about storytelling.
Somebody wrote the thing?
They sent an email out to like 5 of us. They're like, hey, we need another TA for this, and you guys are the stars of the show.
Whoa!
Yeah. Okay. Yup.
Nice. Because that was a good...
Yes.
You had a good... Like, I was actually... That was the first time I had written or read anything you had written. I was like, damn, that's a good writer. And then you sent that other thing, the story of the Oldro post. You're a good-ass writer.
Bro.
You're probably a better writer than me.
I'm flattered. I really am. So, yeah, they identified me as one of the creams of the crop, you know, creme de la creme type of deal. And I was a little flattered. I usually don't check my email, but like once every 2 or 3 days. But I managed to catch this email 12 minutes after it came in. And I was like, it's meant to be. So I just immediately fired like, I'll do it. I got it. Put me in, coach. And then after that, the professor also sent me this new program that they're starting, which is basically another storytelling class, but between 4 universities, including Duke and Georgia Tech.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be in this program telling my story to like other college students and other professors.
Mm-hmm. And
they're all going to be critiquing it and like trying to help me like basically push my vision forward.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I got upgraded to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. As the Premier League would put it, ain't no relegation in this town. I got promoted.
I would call that sales commission.
Put it in a podcast. Dude, I'm excited to see how we can grow this channel, because I think maybe I'm being narcissistic, but I think we got something special going on here.
Maybe I'm being narcissistic, but I agree.
Chat Pack, I hope you like us. If not, please tell us we're dickheads in the comments. We'd like to know.
I think we've gotten good at just like talking to the Chat Pack, because it's like it used to be the first time we started out when we started mentioning the Chat Pack and talking directly to people.
Yeah.
You break the fourth wall, right?
Yeah.
You jump the shark or whatever.
Where,
like when you jump the shark in a movie. The movies are all like people talking to each other in the movie.
Dude, I watched Shark Week and Knoxville jumped the shark metaphorically. Yeah. And they talked about it. They literally jumped a shark in an attempt to like have an outlandish like cry at like entertainment. And the guy got bit by the fucking shark.
Oh my god.
He got pulled off in another boat, and he, as soon as he gets out of the hospital, Knoxville's calling him up, and he's like, I want to raise.
God.
But, I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah. Like, sometimes we jump the shark. Like, right now, I'm jumping the shark, and I'm talking directly to the chat pack. I think when we first started out, that was a really hard thing to do. And I'm not talking about this. This is interesting because it's, like, psychological.
We're diving into our
like
own
I talked to you
psyches.
before about the people that come in. We've really figured out this whole like weird. It's this Black Mirror technological thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like 50 years ago,
The black wall.
you couldn't talk to this little piece of metal, knowing that you could, like possibly, like in your wildest dreams. Like yeah, give me one. Like there's a chance when we talk directly to the chat pack that we could reach like a billion people. Like there is a chance, you know what I mean?
A chance.
Before, like 50 years ago, there was no chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's so weird in this age we live in, analyzing the psychological changes that people undergo when they walk into a room and they sit down next to a recording device that will be uploaded to the internet. Because now you're not talking to a person next to you with a tape recorder that could at most reach a couple hundred people or something if it's at this level of importance.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking to this Black Mirror, black object, this black box
That could evolve into whatever the future holds.
It could be like immortal. You know what I mean? It could be permanent.
Don't get too caught up in your own britches there, chill.
Well, like, say cloud technology and the internet survives forever, which I doubt it will, but it's cynic mode, right? I doubt the internet will survive forever. But say it did.
I think robots will still use the internet.
This is something accessible. Like, what we're doing right now could be accessible by people thousands of years from now. And this wasn't a thing that was a factor in the psychological existence 50 years ago. And I think that's what's so interesting about it.
So, the masses which you're able to reach with any piece of content. Now, also, the acceptance of long-form audio as an actual form of media. Mm-hmm. Like, before COVID, podcasts were not very big. They were definitely a thing, but they blew up after COVID had everyone in their own homes.
I would love to see a graph of podcasts views over the past 10 years, because I know you've heard of podcasts for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There have been podcasts forever, but like
no one was talking about them.
Like it was, I think Joe Rogan,
he blew it up.
Sue us. One of the biggest red flags in women is that guys listen to Joe Rogan. You know what? Fuck you.
He inspired me.
We love Joe Rogan.
He inspired me. I love the guy.
That was like a big mark in the progression of podcasts.
Well, he laid down the value of a podcast.
Well, it's the same.
When he signed the deal with... So, he was already making great money with YouTube, just views. But when he signed a $100 million deal over, was it 3 years?
I don't know.
I don't know the deets, but it was a $100 million deal for a fucking podcast where he talked with people that he was friends with. Yeah. And he started out by just, like, kind of having, like, a video, like, check-in with people before, like, UFC fights, just joking around with his friends, and he grew it from there. Yeah. The fact that you can just have fun, be yourself, and then, like, build it into an empire and grow so much influence in your own ideologies is what blew my mind.
Yeah. But I think the thing that I'm trying to say is, like,
you think it can be eternalized almost, like it can be like
no, okay.
Like how a great song like like Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 can be continued to be played.
Not that at all.
No,
I'm talking about aligning the progression of podcasting as an artistic medium, aligning that little point in history with reality television in the 90s. Oprah, Jerry Springer, Maury, This whole like
Okay.
television medium.
You diversified the amount of shows you have to choose to listen to.
Yeah, like in the 90s,
You've opened up the creator spectrum.
Reality television exploded in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think podcasts, because now I think the thing we're missing is the visual medium, but I think a lot of podcasts now have gone beyond. I think in 2012 to 2014 or 15, podcasting was about, you're going on the train or you're going on a car ride, so you're just listening to it. That was the definition of the medium of podcasting, was just listening to it. But I think it's evolved past that since 2017 to where podcasting is a long form of video auditory content, and it's essentially with the addition of video since 2017, I think podcasting has basically become the next reality TV, in the same sense that Joe Rogan is the man version of Oprah for women. Like Joe Rogan is to men as Oprah is to women. Oprah defined 90s television. She defined these hour-long segments every day during the daytime segment on cable television, and women loved her. And all she did was just interview random people, and just talk to them.
Respectable people, for sure. And she would give out gifts.
Yeah, but if you look under your seats, it's a rat mask.
I had no idea it was there.
You guys got rat masks.
A rat mask, like what the doctors wore during the plagues.
They're like
how fitting for the current pandemic.
Imagine you're walking to class one day, you see 10 people in
I just said pandemic.
crow masks.
Oh my god.
That'd be filthy.
So Chase, you see this, you see podcasting evolving. Do you see it evolving as we're adding visuals and as we're moving towards creator environments like YouTube or Spotify? Do you see this almost morphing a little bit into a blog or a vlog like they do on YouTube, but a more sincere and more genuine approach?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think you got to think about everything's sex, right?
All right, he's
every drive. Every drive.
So you're basing it off of biology.
The most basic drive, as you would assume, is survival.
On Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Survival, right?
Yeah,
but it's really the only reason any species survives is to have sex. So I think that's the pinpoint that we need to start off of here. And this is going to be a long thing. And
if you go even one level lower, what I've heard as a really crazy analogy, and shout out to Tim Urban in his blog, it's the fact that genetics and genes, DNA, are what's controlling all of our urges. And the fact that genes just want to replicate themselves. And that's why everything grows from there.
No, but this is
and that's sex is all about replication.
No, but the universe is sex.
Yes,
the Big Bang. The Big Bang is sex.
You're looking at it from a top-down perspective. I'm looking at it from a bottom-up perspective, where genes are controlling everything.
No, but you're going back genes become irrelevant when you talk about the universe. The Big Bang, in essence, is reproduction.
Of what?
Of universes.
You think there's a Big Bang and a Big Squeeze, another Big Bang,
the Big Bang is birth.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not literal.
Explain to the chat pack, because I get what you're saying, but explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. This isn't inherently anti-Christian, but I think that if you believe in the idea of a universe being created,
the Pope also jives with the Big Bang these days.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of, but it's like the Big Bang. There's a start point and growth. Mm-hmm. That is birth. By the way we define it, that's birth. Starting point and then growth into something bigger.
Okay.
And then death. The universe will eventually die. And some say because of reverse gravity that it will implode back into a central point and then possibly re-implode, right?
Mm-hmm. And some say that this Big Bang has happened multiple times before.
Yeah.
And in multiple universes.
And we're talking about...
You can get as far out in the weeds as you want to.
And we're talking about 3 dimensions. There could be like 12.
Hashtag string theory.
So, but anyways, back to my point.
Hashtag string rat.
String theory rats. Back to my original point, was that everything comes down to reproduction. Because if the universe is growing, everything within that must grow. No one understands why things keep growing, but it just happens. Everything grows, right? And
it's entropy. But the fact that we have life in a contained form is against entropy. Entropy means that chaos is in the universe and its natural order is to expand or to cause more chaos. The fact that we have aligned into non-chaotic organisms, which is also kind of subjective, looking back on it 1,000 years from now, people might say we're pretty chaotic within, and robots might say that, like, oh, these humans were so entropic.
Where was I even going with this?
You're talking about growth, and reproduction is what everything boils down to.
Yeah, but what was my point after that?
I don't know, bro. I was hoping to know where you were going.
I had it.
Reproduction is everything.
I had it.
Big
What
Bang.
was I talking about?
Big
Before
squeeze,
that, what was I
multiple
talking about?
universes. Chase.
We kept getting distracted. I had my thing, and I kept losing it. Well,
All right. Well,
fuck.
I'll give the chat pack a lesson on entropy while Chase ponders what.
I had such a good point, dude.
Dude. Yeah. You know,
the hell,
you might have just solved the universe
What was I
and you
gonna
just
say?
lost it. You just lost it. It's up in the air.
Because it was something so much beyond that.
Okay, we can here. Your point is so important to me, Chase. No.
Can I pause it and scroll back to
ponder
hear what I
through
said?
it. We can cut out whatever. Oh,
No,
yeah,
but can I just pause it and scroll back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go off, Chase.
So we're gonna pick this up where we left off. You might feel a weird, kind of inadvertent cutoff on that last clip. But what happened was Matt kept distracting me, and I couldn't finish my point.
I go down a lot of different tunnels.
Basically, the
We're
point
back
is,
on the main track.
like Matt asked, he said, "Where do you see the future of podcasts going? And where do you see the future of media entertainment as a whole going?" And I was basically, the point I was trying to make was all of the senses, all of them.
Yeah.
That's where I see everything going, is every sense. And I think art as a medium, you think about visual art like a Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
Visual, boom, that's it. Beethoven, auditory. That's it. Think about like an interactive like art piece or something where you can feel it, like a sculpture where you can touch it.
Yeah.
You got visual and touch.
Which is tactile.
Yeah. So I think, and you think about the 3D like Universal Studios
So
experiences.
you
where you
touched
can,
on visual, audio, tactile.
I think the more the merrier. Honestly.
Uh-huh.
So I think that delves into like the basic. I think the human experience is all about is
Invigorating all 5 senses.
I think it's inherently hedonistic, the human experience. Right. Hedonism is an evil, but nonetheless, that's what people strive for.
Mm-hmm.
I think art disregards that kind of thing. I think like if you can give people the most enjoyment, I think that's the goal of art. Like what can people enjoy the most? Oh, you have this piece of art? I have this piece of art, and it's more enjoyable. It's all about enjoyment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you like really make a connection with a piece of art, whether it's film. I'm talking about everything, like music, film, whatever.
Yep.
That's the goal, is to create the most enjoyment and create the most value out of your piece of art. That's kind of hedonistic.
Now, I don't want to divert you from your point, so remember it. But you've talked previously about how you think great artists make it for themselves and not for other people.
Right.
You're talking about being encompassing all the senses for yourself in your art, or are you talking about trying to appeal to the masses?
Well, I think to answer that question, hear me out. It might take me a second to word this right.
You got a lot to boil
I
down.
don't-
You got
it's
to
hard
get
to
the
word
floor.
this, but I know how to
Yeah.
answer it. It's like the artists make art for themselves and not necessarily for the marketing, like mass appeal value.
Mm-hmm.
But the masses appreciate the best art.
Which is an expression of individuality and
Yeah.
humanism
So
in its finest.
the best artists don't come in with the goal of mass marketing it. However, the mass markets appreciate the best art, and the best art tends to be the people that do it for themselves. And that comes back to my point with Vincent van Gogh,
Hey, let's go!
Right?
Yep.
where you think about somebody who made something for themselves, and it blew up, and the masses loved it, but you bring that person, I figured it out.
Yeah, let's
This
go.
is what I was trying
Let's
to say.
hear
I
it.
guess.
Let's fucking hear it.
You bring that guy into the masses, and you place a person in the center of this dichotomy.
The duality of man.
Yeah,
Wanting to be somewhere, but having to be here in order to appeal
Yeah.
to there.
yeah. I think if you're really listening, that made 100% sense. I think that's what I've been trying to say.
It might have contradicted if you weren't.
Yeah. if you're like, what did I miss? You better rewind.
Go
That's
ahead
it.
and...
Is that not a great point?
Yeah, that's a great point.
I've never heard anyone express that before. I think that's very true. Because that's a
Well, I
complicated
mean-
thing to say.
Going back to your point that everything's reproduction. If you really want to impress a girl,
Mm-hmm.
you have to act like you don't need her.
Yeah.
You have to act like you don't want her, almost.
Yeah, because you're
If you want to play the long game.
you're like a maverick,
Yeah.
living life for yourself.
You're on your own wave.
You're making
And
art
it's
for
up,
yourself.
it's up to her if she wants to join that wave. You have to act like you're not needy or you're not dependent upon that person. It goes the other way in reverse, too. If a girl wants to attract a man, she can't just give herself up on the first night if she wants to make it a long time thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the base of it, and that's the basis of sexuality. But like you said, everything boils down to reproduction. Everything also expands from those same reproductive principles.
Right. And that's what art is or the mass marketing of art is
Mm-hmm.
reproduction. Right?
Of those feelings.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's kind of like you choose like a person to reproduce with in this world.
Yeah.
But when you're in the art world, you choose a piece
To
purchase and reproduce
let reproduce thoughts and feelings
Yeah.
within yourself.
because you're like attracted to it, this piece of art, and you want to reproduce it, and it gets mass produced.
And you think about it and you relate it to other core humanistic principles in your own life, and that's how you grow
So
an
all
attachment
all
towards
art
it.
is sex. The chat is sex.
I hope all of you chat rats are just squirming in your seats right now.
Yeah. I hope you got some good cheese to nibble on, you dirty little chat rats.
Oh man, where can we go from there? Do we call it a pod?
I mean, I think that pretty much covered like literally everything.
Do we have anything more to talk about? Find out next time on the new episode.
Before we go, Matt and I, we had these struggles in the past where we had fake sponsors, and we were like, it was funny, but
Are you really gonna give up the fake
They were
sponsors,
like-
Chase? That's your greatest
they were all
attachment.
fake. But I would love to announce, for the first time ever, the chat has just been officially sponsored by Long Drink. Long Drink. The Finnish long drink legend of 1952. Long drink is a top-selling category of alcohol in Finland, a legend that is now available in America. The roots of long drinks go back to 1952,
All right, cut it off.
the Summer Games of Helsinki.
Now is when we appeal to the masses.
When the country of
If
only
you
4
are listening to
million
this
people
podcast
was
and you
still
have a valid
recovering from
business,
World War II, concerned how to serve drinks quickly enough.
please
to
sponsor
all
our
the
podcast
visitors,
because
the government
these
came
are
up
all
with a
fake. He's doing
revolutionary
it again.
idea of a new liquor drink that was both delicious and fast to serve. And so
I gotta
the first
admit, they're
long
pretty
drinks
good.
were
They're pretty good.
born. Strong. We're drinking the strong version, right? The black version. What do you rate it out of 10? I rated it 10.
Dude, it rivals a Long Island itself.
Mm-hmm.
8.5% in a can.
Yeah.
Can't get much better than that. It's tasty.
Next time you go to the liquor store, be sure to point out the black cans of the long drink because they are the strong version, 8.5% alcohol, gin with natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors.
And this is exactly why I said Chase would win over me in the long run, because all he does is market. Now I want to see Chase take that marketing and appeal it to the masses. And please promote this podcast, Chase. What is holding you back?
I mean, I'm always thinking long run, and that's why I buy the long drink.
There we go.
It's unbeatable, ladies and gentlemen. Rats and mice. Go and get one next time you go to the store. That's all I gotta say.
Of mice and men doesn't mean shit to us. Fuck that quote.
Of mice and rats.
Some rats.
Of mice and rats.
Signing off, Chat Pack. Cue Shayla. Cue the outro. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, and please listen again.